Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1983 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the California Angels and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Angels today is Mike Witt, whose record is 12-5 with a 4.27 ERA. And pitching for the Tigers today is Bryan Kelly, whose record is 5-3 with a 3.70 ERA. And so we won Game 2 of the series yesterday, an 8-3 victory for the Tigers. And we put up a lot of runs. I was surprised at how well we did. I mean, we were facing a number 5 starting pitcher for the Angels, a guy that probably shouldn't even be in the rotation. After today's game, Ed Halicki, who's been injured for a majority of the second half of the season, will come off the IL, so he will most likely take over Chris Snap's spot in the rotation. And I just mentioned that because after today's game, I wonder if we will see that son of a bitch, Frank Tanana, tomorrow, or if Ed Halicki will jump right into that spot, since he's healthy and available. So I'm curious to see who will be the starter tomorrow. Let's go ahead and get started with today's game. As always, I appreciate everyone following along. Like and or subscribe to the channel. We've got Bryan Kelly on the mound today. You can see here he has not faced the Angels lineup according to this. In the bullpen, Tom Filer will not be available. He pitched 3 innings in relief yesterday and got the save, his second career save. Good job by Filer. Here's today's lineup versus the starting pitcher Mike Witt. It's our lineup versus righties. One major change, Alan Trammell listed as tired. We're going to sit him and bring in Dougie Baker to play shortstop. That's his natural position. And everybody else is the same. Okay, let's go ahead and do the official lineup rundown for the Angels. Batting leadoff, playing center field, is Gary Pettis. Batting second, playing third base, is Carney Lansford. Batting third in right field is Mike Brown. Batting cleanup and DHing is Daryl Sconiers. Batting fifth and catching is Bryan Harper. Batting sixth, playing first base, is John Harris. Batting seventh at shortstop is Dickie Thon. Batting eighth at second base is Steve Lubratich. And batting ninth in left field is Don Baylor. Starting for the Tigers is Bryan Kelly, making his 14th start. He's 5-3 with a 3.70 ERA, 55 Ks in 87 2/3 innings pitched. His walk total is creeping up. It's up to 45, so almost one every other inning. No other information here. It's interesting. His fastball tops out at 92 miles an hour. His ground ball percentage is 48.2. We know he's got an awesome changeup. We're hoping we can ride that to a few more wins. Overall rated at 92, the 24-year-old righty goes to arbitration in 85. Look at his log. Oh yeah, that's right. In his last start versus Oakland, we pulled him in the second inning. He had walked 4 and gave up 2 hits. And he looked like he was ready to fall apart. So that turned into a bullpen game. We cannot afford to do that today with Tom Filer, our long reliever, unavailable. So, all right. Let's take a look at the Tigers defense. We got Eddie Miller out there in center field. And as I mentioned, Doug Baker at his natural position shortstop. We got 90s almost all the way around the infield. Okay, Gary Pettis leading off for the Angels in Game 3. Wow, he scorches it. High fly ball to center field. 362 feet, but Miller runs it down. 1 out. Here is Carney Lansford in the number 2 spot today. He flips it to right field. Glenn Wilson moving over and making the catch. And that'll leave it up to Mike Brown to get something going here in the first. A ground ball to Brock. And he steps on the bag for a 1-2-3 inning for Kelly. We go to the bottom half of the first. Let's take a look at the Tigers' official lineup rundown. Batting leadoff, playing second base is Sweetly Whitaker. Batting second at first base is Greg Brock. Batting third in left field is Kirk Gibson. Batting cleanup, playing third base is George Brett. Batting fifth and DHing is Mickey Hatcher. Batting sixth and catching is Terry Kennedy. Batting seventh in right field is Glenn Wilson. Batting eighth at shortstop is Doug Baker. And batting ninth in center field is Eddie Miller. Let's take a look at Mike Witt in his third season with the Angels. He got 22 starts, 12-5 with a 4.27 ERA, 89 Ks in 149 2/3 innings pitched. Opponents are batting .245 against him, 4 complete games and a shutout. His fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. His ground ball percentage, 44.9. His hard curve is rated an 89. He's also got a fastball above average, a couple other pitches as well. Overall, he is currently rated an 85. 23-year-old righty. Goes to arbitration in 85. In real life, in 1983, he went 7-14, also in his third season, with a 4.91 ERA. He was pitching so poorly that they pulled him out of the rotation and made him their closer. He ended up getting 5 saves toward the end of the season in 1983. He's a 2-time All-Star, finished 5th in Rookie of the Year in 1981, and finished 3rd in the Cy Young race in 1986. After a long career with the Angels, he was traded to the Yankees in 1990 for Dave Winfield. But by that point, Mike Witt's career was pretty much over, and he just pitched sporadically for the Yankees. So he was out of baseball by 92. All right, let's take a look here at the Angels' defense. Of course, the weak spot in the outfield is Don Baylor. Otherwise, the infield looks pretty solid. And they've got Bryan Harper behind the plate with his 82 arm. Okay, here's Sweet Lou leading off against Mike Witt. Lou walks. Remember, Sweet Lou still listed as tired. We're going to give him the day off tomorrow. But here he walks to lead off the ball game. We're going to let Greg Brock take a cut. Brock had a big hit in yesterday's ball game. Here he pops it up near short. Dickie makes the play. Runner on first. 1 down now for Kirk Gibson. Gibby's sitting on 14 home runs. He skies it on the infield. Another easy play. That will leave it up to George Brett to get something going here. Should we send Whitaker with 2 down? I say yes. If not, then we start with George Brett next inning. 70% chance of success for Sweet Lou. Lou's going. Fastball down the middle, and he is safe at second. His 13th stolen base, team leading 13. Although I believe Ricky had 44 before he was traded. So Lou is in scoring position now for George Brett. Brett batting .315 against righties, 0-1 count. And he hits a deep fly ball to center. That's not going to get it done. We go to the top of the second inning, no score. Daryl Sconiers, the DH, will lead off. 241 overall, 12 homers. A ground ball. Good range from Baker making the play. 1 down. And the catcher, Bryan Harper, up. Another ground ball to Baker. 2 quick outs. So far, Kelly looking solid. As long as he's not walking anybody, I feel good about it. And a ground out to third. So 6 up, 6 down for Brian Kelly today. We lead off the bottom of the second with Mickey Hatcher. Mickey Hatcher has the most hits of any Tigers player right now. He's got 130 after 188 last year, and he gets another one with a base hit opposite field, and Hatcher on first. This is a double play waiting to happen, but we're going to let Kennedy take a cut here. A looper into right center field. It will be caught. 1 out. That will bring up Glenn Wilson, leading the team with 67 RBI. And he pulls it into left for a base hit. Hatcher holds it. Oh, he's going to go to third. Hatcher, not a lot of speed, but he was playing some heads-up ball there. Again, Baylor not great in left field. I think he's got a 68 arm. Let's just check that out. 67 arm. So, smart heads-up base running. And that will bring Doug Baker up. Doug Baker has been pretty good for us considering he's just a backup. And there we go, base hit to center field. Gets past the center fielder. Everybody scores! A triple, and then the error on Pettis. Doug Baker rounds the bases like a little leaguer. And it's 3-0 Detroit. Have we seen that happen before? I mean, we've had inside the park home runs, but I've never seen a triple turned into a, essentially a little league home run. So we'll take it. Pardon me. So, 3-0 Detroit. 2 of those runs are earned. Next man up, Eddie Miller. 2-2 count, and Miller pulls it to first. Oh, it gets past the first baseman. And Miller is safe. Let's keep the pressure on. We're going to send, well, you know what? We're going to hit and run. Second time through the lineup. Let's hit and run this time with Lou. Lou, a tapper, back to Mike Witt. That will advance Miller. Next up is Greg Brock. Runner in scoring position. And a ground ball to short, and that will do it. So the Tigers score 3 in a bizarre way. It's 3-0 Detroit. We go to the top of the third inning. Here is Dickie Thon. Oh, I thought he was going to walk the leadoff batter. You don't want to score 3 runs by your offense and then come out and walk the first guy. Instead, it's a pop up into foul ground. Hatcher making the catch. Oh, actually, it looks like Baker snuck in behind him and made the catch there. Okay, 1 down. Next up, Steve Lubratich. He went deep off us yesterday. His 3rd home run. Unexpected. Striking out here, and there's the first walk. It's always the strikeout followed by a walk, or a walk followed by a strikeout. You can never escape it. That's the first base runner for the Angels. Here's Gary Pettis. 3-1 count. Ground ball to first, and Barack makes the play. We're headed to the bottom of the third. Gibby leading off. Gibby, Brett, and Hatcher. An infield single for Gibson as Lubratich can't make the play. We've got Gibby on first for George Brett. Brett 0 for 1 today. There we go. That's going to get down and past Pettis again. The runner scores from first, and it's 4-0 Detroit. Brett, where's Brett been, man? Thank goodness for him. He's got 10 doubles. I think our team leader is Hatcher with 15. So he's been here for 35 games, and he's one of our best doubles hitters. So great job by Brett, driving in a run. Here's Sticky Mickey. He had a base hit first time up. A looper into center. Pettis can get to that one. It's not really worth it for Brett to tag. Not deep enough. 284 feet. Pettis is a Gold Glove winning center fielder. He never won one with the Angels, but he did win one with the Tigers. Terry Kennedy strikes out looking. Maybe I should have said it right. And here is Glenn Wilson. 1 for 1 today. And a base hit to right. That will score Brett. 5-0 Detroit. Glenn Wilson. He's been a nice surprise. I think, he doesn't get on base. He doesn't walk a lot, so his on-base percentage is around 300, but you can't argue with the RBI totals. And then Doug Baker pops out to second. So we tack 2 more on. It's 5. I just said more on. 2 more on to our total, and it's 5-0. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Carnival worker Lansford leading off. Ground ball to short. 1 down. Next up is Mike Brown. Ground ball to short. 2 quick outs here in the 4th as Daryl Sconiers steps in. And he strikes out, second K. For Brian Kelly, we're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Eddie Miller leading off. Miller 1 for 1. Popping it up. Carrying to the outfield grass. Shallow center field. 1 down. Back to the top of the lineup with Lou. He's walked once. He's walked twice. Both of Witt's walks are to Whitaker. That's hard to say. And Whitaker's already got a stolen base today, but we're up 5-0, so we're going to let our lumber do our talking. There we go. Line driving to right at within range of the right fielder Brown. Here's Gibby. Gibby had an infield single last time, and he walks here. So Witt does not have it today, clearly. First and second. George Brett doubled in a run last time up. He goes oppo to left. Baylor makes the catch. Okay, we're headed to the top of the 5th inning. It's Harper, Harris, and Dickie. Ryan Harper leading off. Infield single. That's the first hit against Brian Kelly. That's a cheap shot right to the nuts. Unfortunately, that's a terrible way to get the first hit of the game. And what will happen next? Yeah, a walk. So we're in trouble here. This is where the reverse moguling comes in. Dickie Thon up. I guess we're going to play straight away. Not a lot of speed on the base path, so maybe a double play is in order. Yes, ground ball to first. Can Brock turn 2? Yes, a double play, moving Harper along. 90 feet away. And Steve Lubratich up. Lubratich is 0 for 1. He's got a strikeout. And a ground ball to short. Baker makes the play. So we get out of that jam. Nicely done. And the Tigers are up 5-0 headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. Mickey Hatcher leading off. A ground ball that gets past the third baseman, Lansford. Is he not a good defensive third baseman? It's the second time today. Let's look at his fielding. What's his range? Oh, yeah, he's terrible. -12 defensive range, so he doesn't get to the ball. And his defensive WAR has cost them 1 win. So that's, maybe 2 before this game's over with. So Hatcher's on first. Terry Kennedy up. He's 0 for 2 today. Second time he struck out. Got to swing the bat. We'll hit and run with Glenn Wilson. He's 2 for 2 today. Average is up to 272. Oh, no. Oh, I thought that was going to be a strike him out, throw him out, but Hatcher steals second base, his third stolen base of the year. He was 3 for 3. Last year he was caught 3 times. I'm sure those were all missed hit and runs. So here's today's hero, Doug Baker. He had that triple, scoring on the error, and he pops up. Lubratich making the catch. Okay, we're headed to the top of the 6th. I know Kelly's pitching well, but I think at this point we got to keep him on the short leash. I don't want to ruin this great start. And certainly if we can keep the pitch total down and we can get to the finish line, we'll give him a shot. Here's Don Baylor leading off. As long as he doesn't walk many, I think he can get there. Here's Gary Pettis. We're going to pull the outfield in. Don't want anything blooping in. Ground ball to Baker. He's got to hurry. Got a lot of speed. There we go. 2 down. Here's Carney Lansford having a bad game, 0 for 2, and did not get to a couple of simple ground balls. And he grounds out to third. Another 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th with Eddie Miller leading off. Let's take a look at the in-game stats. Miller 1 for 2. Wilson is 2 for 3 with the ribby. Hatcher 2 for 3. Baker's got the 2 ribbies. Okay. Eddie Miller leading off. A ground ball to third. 1 down. We don't expect anything from Miller except for defense. So the fact that he's 1 for 3 today, I'm okay with that. That's why he's our number 9 hitter. A ground ball from Whitaker. There's out number 2. Whitaker 0 for 2 today. And Brock's 0 for 3. And there's a base hit to left. There we go. Brock always contributes either with a walk or a base hit. Runner on first. Witt over 100 pitches now. He's up to 104 as Gibby steps in with 2 down. And a base hit through the left side of the infield. Brock holds this time. That's going to do it for Mike Witt. So we chased their ace of the staff. And Dave LaRoche comes in. Now, Dave LaRoche is only in there because of injuries to the bullpen. You'll see his overall rating is a 65. He spent all year down in the minors. They called him up to fill in for Mike O'Very. And I hope we just tag him all night long. I hope they keep him in there. He's happy, but he won't be in a minute as George Brett steps in. We do have a lot of lefties, so that maybe is an advantage to Dave LaRoche. Let's see how George does. A ground ball to short. Wah, wah. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Kelly's keeping it moving. We do have the lefties coming up in the lineup as Mike Brown leads off. Oh, base hit down the left field line. Up against the wall for a double for Brown. 31st double for Mike Brown. 22 homers, 5 triples. That's a lot of extra base hits. Was he an all-star this year? He was not. Nothing recorded at all for Mike Brown. Okay, so runner in scoring position for Daryl Sconiers. A ground ball to first. Brock makes the play. Brown advances to third. Just for posterity's sake, we're going to pull third base in. If Harper pulls it to third, we'll keep Brown at third. Anywhere else that run will score, and I'm okay with that at the moment. 1-1 count. This is where I don't understand as Harper does drive in that run. If you look at Brian Kelly, if you have a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, even though it's not highly rated, and a changeup, why the hell are you not striking out, 1 per inning? It doesn't make sense. But in these situations, that's when like that strikeout really would come in handy, and he does not have it. John Harris flies out to right. So Kelly does give up a run. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, 5-1 Detroit. We've been getting our fair share of hits, but we have not scored since the 3rd. Mickey Hatcher leading off. Fly ball to right. Dave LaRoche still in there doing the job. We're going to let Terry Kennedy bat here. I should just pinch it Lance Parrish. But Parrish hasn't played much. And honestly, he's not even hitting. He's not even hitting lefties well. Kennedy lines out to first. He hit it pretty hard there. 2 down for Glenn Wilson. Wilson 2 for 3 with a ribby. Wow, LaRoche looking good for a 65 rated pitcher. I think he's the worst pitcher rating-wise we faced all year. And it's no surprise we can't touch him somehow. We go to the top of the 8th inning. The shutout's gone, so now we're just testing Brian Kelly's will here. It's the bottom of the lineup, and they're all right-handers. The ground ball up the middle. Whitaker gets to it, tosses him out. One down for Steve Lubratich. Into foul ground on the first base side, and Brock makes the play. Now, I tend to think they're going to score another run for a save opportunity to reveal itself, but we'll see here. As he pops up into the foul ground. Brian Kelly will get a shot at a complete game. As a T.R. Bryan comes in. That's a great name. T.R. Bryan, wow. 24-year-old righty in his 28th game, 1-2 with a 1.29 ERA. Actually, he's been great every year. 35 strikeouts in 48 2/3 innings, opposed to batting .236 against him. It looks like he used to walk more than he struck out, but he straightened it out a little bit. Fastball tops out at 90 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage, 48.2. He's got a pretty good... So, this is what I don't understand. His fastball is rated a 93. So it's rated higher than Brian Kelly's, but it's slower. So speed doesn't necessarily equate into the quality of the fastball. Maybe it's because his command is rated a 96. Overall, he's rated an 87. And he goes to arbitration, so he might be available on the market. Somebody we might consider. Although I don't pay relievers, that's my thing. Okay, here's Dougie Baker. 1 for 3, 2 RBIs. He has a big blow today. As he flies deep to center field. 1 out. Here's Eddie Miller. Miller, a line drive into center. Oh! Oh! That must have been a sliding catch because it looked like it hit the ground. But Pettis, who's really had some problems in center field, makes the play. And then Lou gets a base hit down the right field line. It's a single. That's Lou's first hit. Only Terry Kennedy without a hit today. Runner on first. Here's Greg Brock. He's 1 for 4. And a base hit through the right field side. Pulls it into right. Whitaker goes to third, and Gibby, you know he's thinking a big home run right here. And he strikes out looking. Okay, we're going to the 9th inning. We've got a switch hitter and 2 righties coming up before we get to the left-handers. So we will definitely be playing it by ear here. If Pettis gets on, that could be a problem. I suspect they're going to score 1 run in this inning. But he's pitching a 2-hitter. He's only walked 2. So, I mean, he deserves a shot to close this game out. Does he have a complete game? I can't even remember. No, he's never had a complete game. So let's give him a shot at it. Gary Pettis leading off. Defensively, we are good. Here we go. popping it up at home plate. Oh, these are 50-50. Come on, Kennedy. There we go. There's one down. That is a sigh of relief as Carney Lansford steps in. Lansford 0 for 3. Base hit to left field. That was a 2-2 count. Lansford on first for Mike Brown. Kelly at 99 pitches. Only the third hit for the Angels. And a base at the center. So, yeah, here we go. So we're going to take him out at 100 pitches. Good job by Brian Kelly. He's responsible for those 2 base runners. And we're going to bring in Dave Mother Rucker. 56th game, 5-6 with a 3.07 ERA. 39 Ks and 44 innings pitched. Opponents are batting .224 against him. 8 saves, 3 TBs. And you pretty much know the rest. I always forget, what are his splits? Are they reverse? Yeah, he's a reverse split guy. But he does get lefties out pretty well, batting .246. I don't like those walks. All right, so here's Daryl Sconiers. I mean, if you're saying out there, why don't you leave Kelly in? I mean, one swing of the bat, especially by your cleanup hitter, would make this a ball game. So we need to be mindful of that. We're going to play regular depth, double play depth for Daryl Sconiers. 2-2 count. A looper into left center field. Come on. Yes. Lansford holds. And now Brian Harper's up. We do have a lefty in Harris on deck. Now, if the game was smart, I'm going to pitch to Harper, but I think you want to bring in if he gets on base, you'd want to bring in a righty there, but I don't think they're going to do it. Okay, here we go. Brian Harper, 2 down, runners on first and second. A ground ball to short. That's Doug Baker, and the game is over. Not a lot of drama. Tigers win 5-1. Handshakes, butt slaps, slappy steaks. So we've won 2 in a row. That is always a good thing. We're back. Now we're 6 games back. I know we're not going to win the division, but it annoys me I get annoyed either way. But it's annoying that we're 6 games back. We really do have, a mathematical shot, of course, but it's not really worth focusing on. Milwaukee's won 4 in a row. Nicely done there. And Oakland is now the leader in the West by a half game, but just by percentage points. That's amazing. They came out of nowhere. Very cool. Okay, let's take a look. Well, we should look at the National League. There's a lot going on here, too. New York is 2 up on Montreal. Atlanta just hanging on. Cincinnati gained a game back. They're 1 game back. This is a terrible division. It's amazing that Cincinnati's back in it. Headline news. James has been off for a few days. Oakland wins 9-4. This is Danny Schatzeder for Oakland there. Joe DeSa saw the ball well on Sunday. The A's number 6 hitter went 3 for 5. He had a home run. Mickey Tettleton got 2 hits. Hey, there you go. Tettleton still under 200. Tony Phillips went 4 for 5 with the home run. And this was in Toronto, so the left-handers here are the ones that are cranking it. And number 3 hitter Mike Davis, he's a left-hander. He went deep as well. And here we go. 5-1 loss unseats California. Brian Kelly, great job by Brian Kelly. He might be our player of the game. That's probably as deep as he's ever gone. And yeah, this is all about the Angels. Whitaker 6 for 12 in his last 3 games. And he's all been tired in those 3 games. Nothing else. Let's take a look at transactions. So we've got a couple of injuries here. Bobby Ojeda just going to miss a start. He's having a debacle of the season. And Greg Matthews, St. Louis, so many injuries. Greg Matthews comes up, gets a start, and he bruises his hand. Okay, let's pull up the box score and get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. One more game in the series. Oh, I want to see. Actually, let's take a minute. Is it going to be Frank Tanana? It is Ed Halicki. So we do not see that son of a bitch. He's scared of us. All right, here we go. Player of the game. I think we got to give it to Doug Baker. He basically won us that ball game. Yeah, he had the inside the park home run, Little League home run. It was a triple, and then Pettis' error allowed Baker to score off of his own triple. Brian Kelly, great job. Goes to 6-3. Keeping the walk total down, keeping the hit total down. And Dave Rucker gets the save, although it was 4. How is that a save? Is it because the 2 base runners were on base when he came in? I don't know. I guess so, because that would have, I don't know. Inherited runners, maybe. Okay, that's it. We're going to come back tomorrow with Game 4 of the 4-game series. Until then, everyone, have a great night.